Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 41 of Cold Beers and Curveballs. I am your host, Chase.
You never say Chase.
I'm Chase Almy, fine. I was just trying to make it short, and it's Corey fucking Stevens.
Yes. No, say it. The illustrious
Corey Stevens.
Say it.
At the co-hosting helm. So it's episode 41. We've got a lot of stuff. Nothing really in the AL East unless you're a Red Sox or Yankees fan. So if you're Tampa Bay, Baltimore, or Toronto, go ahead and turn this shit off right now. But in happy news, we finally found us a place since we got evicted.
Right?
We're at the new Walk Off Sports headquarters.
Chase, let's be honest. You know what? Honesty is the best policy. And other than the fact that you're drinking shit beer, JK, I would never say that. Honesty is the best policy. So why did we get evicted, Chase? Because you didn't pay your phone bill?
No, it wasn't because I didn't pay the phone bill. Fuck you, Sprint, by the way, with your stupid ideas. No,
we've got to do it at Approved Walk-Off Media
we have a
Sports
new walk-off. Yeah,
right?
we got high chairs like we can sit up on.
High chairs?
Yeah, like high chairs.
You're the one with the baby.
I know, right? And we got
like plug-ins and we don't have to
plug-ins.
use this stupid orange cable.
I think we have a secretary now that takes our calls.
You know, there is a concierge, yeah,
Uh-oh.
during normal business hours.
They don't
which
have-
This is definitely not.
We just don't have...
Is this live?
It is live. We're
Okay,
doing
good.
it live.
People know that it's not normal business hours.
Right,
If they're
yeah.
listening live, you know that we are coming to you at 9 p.m. because we are fucking dedicated.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
9 p.m. podcasting because we love what we're doing. So tell us, what are we about to get into, Chase?
Dude, so we have the MLB draft, not the NFL or the NBA. It falls number 3 behind the NHL draft.
Dude, I bet MLS draft is better for freaking soccer.
I don't know. I think
There's such a chasm that you could fit. I don't even know. I feel like there's a joke there somewhere.
I think NHL may jump ahead because of the Golden Knights this year.
Why
Just
is
to-
the MLB draft so stupid?
The MLB draft isn't stupid. Why people don't care about the MLB draft is because it's going to be a good 2 to 5 years before you see.
You know why? What? You know why there's bullshit like that? Because let me tell you about Vlad Guerrero Jr., right? He didn't need to wait 2 to 5 years.
No.
He's ready.
There are players.
He's ready. How old is he, Chase?
There are players.
20 years old?
19, I think.
19,
Yeah.
I think so. Vlad Guerrero could be one of those players. He's got name cachet. He could be drafted, and when in a soon enough turnaround where people don't forget. Oh wait, way to go! Toronto Blue Jays, you drafted Vlad Guerrero Jr. People won't forget it if the next year he's brought up, and he's major league ready.
There are players.
He's 19 and he's major league ready, but the problem is the contract situation, right?
Right.
So this is why when you've got players like Aaron Judge, who was ready before he hit the majors, players like Joey Gallo, Bryce Harper, these guys get drafted and they sit and the energy goes away. They're ready if the situation with the contract and the collective bargaining and the union and the whatever the hell it was, that they could come up and the team would still have control or whatever, or the team needs to give away some control or whatever, then you would have more excitement about your young players. But now we pretend like a 24-year-old is a rookie. He's not a rookie. It's a fake rookie.
Well, yeah, because there is no other. Well, outside of the NBA, what is it, Y League or whatever the fuck letter it has now.
D League, and now it's the G League.
I guess it got worse.
Everybody understood D was for development, but then Gatorade wants to pretend like they're G and not Gatorade.
Right.
And they bought it.
No, but that's the one thing is there is no developmental league that's a big developmental league outside of MLB has rookie ball, high A, double A, triple A, Arizona Fall League. You got Dominican Win. You've got a lot of branches of baseball. Bryce Harper, his agent, and the Washington Nationals really kept up the hype with him. Before, I know about the season or two before Bryce Harper made it to the Nationals, and it was his rookie season coming up. He was in East Bay. He was in all the stuff. They were prepping him up. Under Armour doing a full fucking thing for him.
He was right, but
he was
clearly
ready,
the exception
right,
to the
and
rule
he was
because
also,
he was an SI cover athlete.
Yeah, at like 16 years
At
old.
like 16 years old.
Right.
He is the exception to
right.
the rule.
But you have players. It's players that I can think of off the top of my head in
Like-
the past 5 years would be Mike Trout, Chris Bryant, Bryce Harper.
But no, Mike Trout wasn't drafted high. But anyway, whatever.
No, but I'm
It's-
just saying players who were ready to go that they didn't put up there because of
Right.
contracts.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant, he should have had a rookie season a year before, but the Cubs kept him down a year so that his rookie season wouldn't be until later.
Right.
They caught a lot of shit for that.
Yeah,
they're-
well, and right now, and sure, the Cubs are kind of in the same situation as the Blue Jays. They weren't good then,
Right.
and it was wise.
Well, he came on board.
It
He
makes
came on
sense
board when it was time to really.
from the team. Yeah, it makes sense to get the team control, blah blah blah, the contract situation, etc. The Blue Jays are in the same situation. They're not good this year. You don't need them, and you wait until whatever deadline. Is it June 1st or is it July 1st or what's the?
I think it's June 1st.
Couldn't they bring him up now?
They
And they still have a control because he made it the first few months.
I believe it's like the 1st of May even. Like it's weeks.
It's just frustrating. And also the guy, Willie Calhoun, like he made it past the deadline. People acted like he was going to get called up after that.
Right.
It was all about team control. Well,
Right.
actually, he's just not.
But here's the one
he's
thing.
just not quite ready.
Here's the one thing that I am happy that happened in this draft was there was a player that was draft eligible named Luke Heimlich. Luke Heimlich was a left-handed pitcher.
Can you play? Do you have the "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Luke Heimlich" song?
I
queued
don't
up?
have that one yet,
Damn.
but we are working on it.
All right.
But no, so Luke Heimlich, left-handed pitcher for Oregon State.
He's pretty good, right?
Yeah, he missed last season's College World Series. Didn't go to that because of some stuff brought up from his history. In 2012, I believe it was, when he was 15 years old, he was convicted and pled guilty to sexually assaulting his 6-year-old niece his niece that was 6 at the time.
So if he was an adult, what would we call that, James?
We would call him a sex offender or a pedophile.
Yes.
So he pled out for that to avoid other charges that were coming and kind of killed his whole deal. Oregon State was like, we don't want you to come with us. It's bringing us bad press. It's this and that. They let him stay on the team. He pitched. Through this past season, he's tried to say that he was innocent, kind of coerced into taking the plea deal because they were going to try to ruin his life or this.
I mean,
and that.
it is. There might be validity to the fact that sometimes you plead to things just to get out, stop doing the court thing for 5 years.
Right. Well,
and
and
to
there's
stop,
sometimes that there are just things that no matter the
when the cards are stacked against you, sometimes you just plead and
Right.
get it over with,
right.
rather
Because
than fight it
taking
for
the-
2
taking
years
the
and
plea-
still have the risk of the same conviction
Right.
and no bargaining for a lesser. Yeah. Anyway.
But here's where I am proud. Every team in Major League Baseball did not pick this guy up.
Passed on him for 30 times over.
Yes.
Somebody could have him.
1,214 people were drafted this year, and Luke fucking Heimlich wasn't. Because Luke fucking Heimlich is a cancer of society and should be locked away and should never be able to touch a baseball. No matter, at 15 years old, you have the ability to understand right and wrong. Unless you have some form of mental retardation, some form of problems, you know right from wrong. And you know touching a 60-year-old girl is fucking disgusting. And he's getting everything that he earned and deserved with that. And I am so proud that Major League Baseball took the stance and said, fuck Luke Heimlich. He's not playing on my team. I'm not going to have some kid diddler running around my fucking city, running around my fucking ballpark, doing this and that. Because you've done it. And now you've admitted that you've done it. Now you want to try to play the victim. There is no victim here except for your 6-year-old niece that was 6 at the time, who would probably be about, 10 to 12 now?
Yeah, it's about 12, 13
Right,
maybe.
and probably dealing with everything else that this man has caused.
Here's the question. If this situation was Bryce Harper, is he still getting drafted?
No.
I don't believe you. Because how many times in the NFL have we seen the situation where I know it's not the same. It's not touching kids. It's not assault. It's not pedophile kind of stuff. But how many times have we seen absolutely awful cases get drafted, right? Everybody gets a chance in the NFL if you are talented. If this guy was talented enough, I'm not sure that their conscience 1,000 times over, 30 teams.
Well, and
30
everybody's
rounds.
saying he had a second, Tyreek Hill for
There
the Chiefs.
isn't, right. That's what I'm saying. There isn't press. Like, there's not, yes, there would be write-ups, but it wouldn't be that much press. Somebody could avoid it, absorb it. If he was that talented, you just draft him in like the 32nd round or whatever.
I mean, he was a two-time Pac-12 pitcher of the year.
He's got
accolades. He's got a lot going for him. But,
he should be like, third, fourth round or higher.
Right.
But
they figured he would have been drafted
not.
early last year. This is twice that they've passed on him.
yeah. Well, anyway, that was a big story. What was it? Casey Mize, was that the guy's name from Auburn? He was a number one pick. Pitcher from Auburn. Rangers drafted about 15th, 16th, 15th. They had a pitcher fall to them. I still can't quite figure out why. He fell to them, as in, like, generally if somebody falls 10 spots, it's just like a funny little thing because of position, but pitcher is valued. Like Aaron Rodgers, like there wasn't a reason, but it just happened that people didn't want a quarterback that high.
Right.
For about 10 spots.
Right. I mean,
but anyway, the Rangers guy, what's his name again? He's from high school in California. He came from Colorado. His name is Cole. Cole is his last name or first name?
His last name.
What was the name? But anyway, Rangers, that was their number one pick. Right-handed pitcher out of high school. And then they drafted a bunch of shortstops and pitchers. But yeah, that's all for Rangers.
They need pitching.
That's all for Rangers draft news.
Right.
Okay, but address this. Rangers fans will complain that they have a terrible track record with drafting high school players versus college players. And then also high school players, we're talking an extra year or two in the minors versus a college player, right? And the Rangers are in this like, hey, we're not rebuilding, we're reloading. It's only going to take a year kind of situation. That's what John Daniels wants us to believe, right?
Right.
So if that's the case, then why did we only draft high school players in like the first 5 rounds? If you want some talent that's going to be ready, draft a college player, right? Like if you want a year or two sooner, if you want your rebuild to happen, you want to be, top of the AL West in about 2 or 3 years when maybe the Astros window is closing and you're ready to rock and roll, then draft some college players, right?
I would say no. And
if
here's
your target is 3 years away.
Here's why I say no. If you look at your top college programs, if you look at teams like for us here in DFW, TCU has a very strong baseball.
Yeah, Arietta came from there.
Right. But if you look at their teams throughout the years, there's only 1 or 2 on each team that gets picked up by an MLB team.
Right.
But they contend every year for the College World Series. College baseball, college baseball is different. Where football,
everyone goes to college football. There's a ginormous lack of talent because there's a ton of high school players who take the money and don't go to college baseball.
Right. But high school, but going from high school to the minors is, in theory, a little bit smarter because it's getting them onto a track of professional baseball.
No, I do understand that. I'm raising the issue, but I do understand. If you, as a team, and every single organization is going to believe in themselves, if you believe in your coaches and developmental program in the minors, then you want those high school players to be joining your team right away. You feel like you can do better with them in 4 years of the minors than they would do in 4 years of college.
Yes. 100%.
Right, and so I get that. It's just like it's a greater chance. Like there's a greater potential. There's a greater unknown and a greater potential for failure when you're drafting a high school player because you have less tape, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. So, but players like this, what's his name again? You looked him up, right?
Cole?
Yeah.
What about him?
Well, what's his first name? Or what's his last name? I thought you were there.
No, man, I wouldn't look at that.
No, but okay. I mean, the Rangers drafted a bunch of high school players. These top guys, they're not just your Joe Blow high school players. This guy, his dad had a job in California. He moved out. The competition was better in California than it was in Colorado. He's played in there's a high school invitational championship or something. It was some weird title, but it wasn't just your normal state sanctioned UIL in Texas or national high schools. So it was a select thing.
His name is Cole Winn.
Cole Winn. Yes. See, I like that name. Cole Winn. He's going to give us some wins. So yeah, no, there is a lot of tape on guys like that.
They picked 23 right-handers and 6 shortstops.
And then
27 pitchers.
Chase, tell us why it's okay to pick 6 shortstops.
Because Elvis Andrews is going to die one day.
Okay, I don't think
And they're also one of the biggest. And they're also the biggest. They are probably defensively one of your biggest trade packages.
I don't think the answer is the fact that we're taking 6 options to fill in for Elvis Andrews when your stupid ass and others on the radio want to talk about trading Elvis Andrews.
Elvis Andrews would be a great trade right now.
No.
We got to get dude.
No, he's the face of the franchise, and I will say that until I die. Anyway,
he is not the face of the franchise.
He is.
Adrian Beltre is the face of the franchise.
Adrian Beltre is not the face of the franchise when he's on the DL.
No, it still doesn't matter. Hey,
he's 50 years old. You know who the face of the franchise is? Bartolo Colon. Right now.
He did not. He is not yet the
also Cole Hamels, who we're about to trade. We're not trading Elvis.
I guarantee you they trade Elvis.
No, the reason you
to get rid of Elvis.
The reason it's okay to take shortstop is because shortstops are the best players in high school and in middle school, etc. You always put the best player at shortstop.
I would always say
they're going to be the most position flexible, and they're going to have the most athletic skills. If you draft a first baseman, that's your fat kid. If you draft a left fielder, that's a kid with no arm. If you draft a
left fielder, you could easily convert to a pitcher. If you draft, honestly, for me, the best
shortstops, they can go anywhere in the infield.
But if you draft a catcher, you can move them around anywhere. Donaldson started out as a catcher.
Yeah.
Pablo Sandoval started off as a catcher, which played a game at second base the other day and fucking laid out and looked like Dustin Pedroia.
We got to move along.
We've got to move along. So staying on with the
college,
draft,
good old college. Yes.
Kyler Murray for OU played with A&M and went to Allen High School.
Yes, broke every record in high school football.
Right,
and then he got to A&M, and he looked like a deer in headlights when he saw those big old SEC linebackers and linemen. So he was scared to death, and you know what that means? Baseball is the place for him, so why is he going to act like he's going to play Oklahoma football?
He's transferred out. Baker Mayfield for the OU Sooners, now with the Cleveland Browns, says that he believes Murray will break every record that Baker Mayfield set. He is a way better athlete than Mayfield. So he signed a very, very nice contract with the Oakland A's in the second round, guaranteeing him $5 million plus the ability. The way that I guess that I read it, the way the contract is worded is that it won't go into effect and will give him at least one season at OU to kind of see what he wants to do with that and if they need to void out the contract after that first season if he chooses to stay
and
for OU.
This is not unheard of. There's a long history of baseball and football overlap with the baseball draft. And the whole Rangers keep drafting Russell Wilson, and the Yankees drafted Russell Wilson.
He signed. Yeah,
and he shows up. You
had Deion Sanders. You had Bo Jackson. John Elway was drafted second round.
But then all the Drew Henson, Drew Hutchinson, way back the Cowboys quarterbacks, who were all baseball draft picks.
Right.
Tom
Brady with the Expos.
Yeah, they throw draft picks.
Yeah, you have 40. You have 40 fucking rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case.
Patrick Mahomes for the
exactly.
Chiefs, he was drafted
So-
by the Tigers. It happens every year. This is
Kyler,
one of those
go play
one-
baseball.
That would be the smartest route. You have a way longer longevity and you have a way better chance, especially with your playing ability in football. I would say.
Read my lips. Guaranteed contracts.
Yep, exactly. And with his playing style in the NFL, it ain't going to work out.
No. Injuries derail your, earning potential.
Right,
And
yeah.
he's a tiny little dude. He needs to play baseball.
Right. Jameis Winston was another big one of recent years.
So that gets us through a lot of talk. The John Daniels for the Rangers. We talked about some of their drafts. We talked about other rivals in the AL West with their draft picks. Kyler Murray being the one in Oakland. John Daniels has a lot on his table.
Before we talk about John Daniels,
Okay.
though, there was a loss apparently with the Texas Rangers. We're mourning the loss of Captain the Horse, the mascot.
El Capi. No, the horse.
The horse mascot of
Wait,
the
what
Texas
happened?
Rangers. I don't know, because apparently we signed John Daniels to a multi-year deal, and we have a fucking horse that's a dead horse, and we're going to beat the fuck out of it
We're gonna beat
for
that
the
dead horse.
next fucking few years. We are going to wander around for 40 years in the fucking wilderness with John Daniels at the helm making all the fucking choices, because we had to get rid of Nolan Ryan, because all Nolan Ryan cared about was selling 2-foot wieners at the hot dog stands. And look what we've done here. We can't draw dick out there in Arlington. I turned down free tickets to go to a game because it's too hot. It's too fucking hot.
That's why they're putting a roof on the stadium.
And who wants to go watch that?
They're going to be
Go
better.
put a fucking roof
gonna
over
be
Frisco
better.
Rough Riders.
They're
It'll be
gonna be
more
better.
entertaining. Good God Almighty! Which,
So,
if we're saying on
has he signed
that,
it, or is it just like
he has signed it.
Rangers-
They've extended him out.
Rangers have extended their GM John Daniels. I, for one, actually side on the he's doing a good job side, but
Yeah, because we signed Tim Lincecum and released that for what?
that didn't work out. But hey, Big Sexy's working out.
Big Sexy
Kind
works
of.
out every fucking time.
Well,
It's
except
just
for-
getting his contract into
Chase.
the
There were
works.
30 other instances of teams who did not realize that Big Sexy was going to work out, even though he was injured for most of last year, and that's why he underperformed.
Right.
Teams, he was there. He was released, right? Or he was demoted or whatever. Everyone could pick him up at the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, he got DFA'd
Yeah.
So-
Anybody could have picked him up
because he turned
off
down
of
a
waivers, right?
Right.
And nobody did.
Because he was injured last year, so you
Well,
have to give
he had
a
a-
body like that time to fucking heal, man.
Nah, he's healed. Did you not see the perfect 7 innings
Oh no,
against
I
Houston?
saw the perfect 7
Oh,
innings.
so
He's
let's
lights
check on
out.
Let's check on that Astros Houston Rangers
4-1
game. What's
right
going on?
now.
Rangers are winning.
No.
Oh, we reversed it. 1-0, and then now it's 4-1.
Yeah, why would the fucking Rangers be?
Cole Hamels is pitching. I
Cole
expected
Hamels.
better.
Cole Hamels is going to be done. Cole
All right,
Hamels.
where's Cole Hamels going?
Cole
Let's get
Hamels has
into
a
that.
lot in common with Matt fucking Harvey. I'll tell you that.
As in, he's going to get traded to the Yankees.
No, as in like he's just no fucking worth.
He has no worth.
No.
He's whatever. I feel like that's such a stupid position that I'm not even going to debate it.
No, I mean he's not good. He's
been
done.
A,
He's done
been
for.
He's been a star pitcher in multiple World Series for multiple teams.
Right, and they all begin to fall, and this is 2 years in the making. Of
If
falling.
Big Sexy can be a productive pitcher at age 45, then Cole Hamels at age 31, 32 can be a productive Major League
And
Baseball
Matt
pitcher.
Harvey pitches
He-
for the Reds now, you dumb fuck. He was with the Mets. Why
Yeah,
would you
he
say
was
the
a nobody.
Yankees?
I was drawing a comparison to the potential that we're trading Cole Hamels to the Yankees.
Well, I mean, they can trade him off, but it ain't going to do him any good. I
Well,
think they
it would
know
do the
that.
Rangers good.
It doesn't. Yeah, we would pick up prospects, but I don't think they're going to get what they're hoping for. They're not going to get what they're hoping for.
It all depends. You know the market. The market depends on the demand. The demand depends on how desperate a team is. If a team is super desperate for a relief or starting pitcher, right? They're locked in a battle for their division.
But you
or
have to be good, and you have to be a proven track record for the past year.
When the Yankees look over at the Red Sox and Astros, who are going to whoop their ass in the playoffs, They say, let us try to add pieces. And they look at the Rangers bullpen, who is actually one of the best bullpens right now. And they say, hey, Jake Diekman, come on over and be a good old left-handed pitcher for us in the bullpen. We'll overpay for that. Or they look at their fourth pitcher, and they'd be like, this is a real question mark in the playoff series. I don't want some no-name ruining my playoff chances.
But Cole
they're
Hamels
going to put
is
Cole
nothing.
Hamels.
Cole
He
Hamels
is not a no-name, and he has proven
He
himself.
is not a. He's proved himself in the past. He hasn't proved himself in three
the best
fucking years.
indication of future performance is past performance.
Well, you go back to last year and the year before that.
So if I'm the Yankees and I want to add a good veteran pitcher who will help me in the playoffs and will not shit the bed like a Yu Darvish, then I am trading for Cole Hamels.
No, you're fucking not. Because what you're gonna fucking
we're gonna
hope
find
that
out.
happens is that
Somebody
the fucking
is.
no.
Somebody is
What you're
trading
gonna
for
do?
Cole Hamels,
What
and the Rangers are going to reload for it, and it's going to be good,
I'm gonna tell you where you're
and
gonna.
it's going to be a perfectly fine.
What you've got to
haul
hope. What
of
you've got to
prospects.
hope for is in the long run that once the trade deadline hits here, that the Seattle Mariners are 7 games out from the Astros,
That would be really desperate.
and you know who they're going to sign
Somehow
in.
They're leading the division right
Right now, they're leading the division by
And
one
if they,
game.
If they go to 7 games back and they're like, oh, shit, we've got this potential. We were leading in June. Then they might get desperate and overpay, yeah.
No.
No.
I think if they're 7 games back
What would happen?
and they're starting to trail, I think King Felix is taking a trip to the Big Apple.
Well, that would be interesting.
I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what would happen.
You know
I
who's
think it'll
old?
be over Cole Hamels.
You know who's old? King Felix. How about that?
King Felix has lost about 3 miles an hour of velocity.
Yeah, exactly.
But
He's worse than Cole.
Cole Hamels
All right.
just can't maintain.
All right, let's get to the meat of the AL West. The Astros are not as good as last year. They've lost Beltran. McCann is not as good. Big fact. Gaddis is not as good. Their pitching is great. Are they still going to be in the World Series because on the strength of their pitching?
I think they will. I think
Will their
they'll
bats
be in,
come around?
I think they'll be in at least in the ALCS. I think they've got an easy ride through that. I think a lot of it has to do with they're not panicking because look at the division they're in.
Right.
This is a very easy division to win. There was a lot of hype with the Angels. I even bought into the hype.
Well, it's not April anymore, okay?
No.
Like we're almost July. We're halfway through June. So maybe we should actually get our act together, and if you're going to be the Houston Astros, win the division, right?
They're going to win the division by at least 6 games.
I would bet you a 6-pack for that.
You want to bet a 6-pack on that?
I don't think they're going to run away with it.
You don't think they're going to run away?
I think
6
they're
games or more?
cursed by the World Series curse, just like
no.
the Cubs didn't run away with their division last year.
No, they also had some struggles.
You know who
They
struggled?
lost
LA.
leadership. Dodgers
Exactly.
are looking horrible, but they pulled within a game and a half.
They
So,
have, but the Angels. All right, here's my little rant. Mike Trout is the best player of our generation. He might be one of the greatest in all of baseball history when his career is over.
Right.
He's already. This blew my mind the other day when I saw that his career WAR is greater than Ichiro's. Like, Ichiro is a fucking legend. Ichiro is one of the best hitters ever, and he's got an arm, and he can run the bases. Like, and Mike Trout is already better than him. That's what the numbers show.
Yeah, he could end today, and he would be a.
He would already be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And the Angels are squandering everything. The
Right.
Angels were not in the playoffs last year.
But
The Angels have
they
a
put
legit-
the pieces together.
They have a legit chance of not being in the playoffs next year. This year. Because if the Mariners are good and the Red Sox are good and the Yankees win the division and the Astros win the division, the Angels are out. We're going to waste Mike Trout's prime over and over and over.
This is what everybody's
Mike Trout
been
needs
saying.
to demand a trade. Can he demand a trade? He's
He
Mike
can-
fucking Trout. He can do whatever he
demand a
wants.
trade. Yeah, he's probably got some no trade clauses involved. But no,
So
they're
frustrating.
But they're only 4.5 games out.
He's
right now.
in L.A. He is a superstar in L.A., and this is the problem with baseball, is because stuff like this is wasted. We can't market him because his team sucks.
Yeah.
And he's only one of 9. Baseball's the ultimate team sport.
And
He's not the quarterback.
He's not very outgoing.
No, he doesn't actually have the Bryce Harper persona.
Right. The Chris
Um,
Bryant. He doesn't
yeah.
have that.
it's really disappointing. That's all.
They're only 4.5 games back. Houston's a game and a half back from Seattle. Seattle had a 7-3 on the last 10. Houston's run differential plus 118.
That's pretty fucking good.
Oh, yeah. Right now in the AL West, the only team that has a minus run differential is Corey's
Your Texas Rangers.
at a minus 61.
61's not so bad.
So
At
you've
least
got
it's not 69, right?
yeah.
All right.
They'll probably be 69 by the end of this fucking game. No, but the NL East, you basically just have Yankees and Boston. Yankees are up a half game over Boston, and then it's 14 games back for the next team, Tampa Bay.
That's a giant gap.
Yeah, no, that's Cleveland's sitting with a 4-game lead over Detroit. Minnesota's at 4.5. Kansas City and Chicago are at 12 games. The NL East, though, Washington finally coming
finally
up. The
got their shit
Nationals
together.
finally got their shit together, and they are now they're tied for first with the Atlanta Braves. 3 games back is Philly. That's the
Right.
thing. Philly and Atlanta making this a lot of
Dude,
fun.
If we had more time, we would dig into the Jake Arrieta thing.
Jake
Did you hear how
Arrieta.
he threw his management under the bus?
Oh,
Like, so he's got I think he had a lead or tie game going in the 5th, and he's got the Phillies are just like every other team. They employ sometimes some really radical shifts, right?
right.
Well, the problem is he's got a great game going, and then he has like one base runner, right? Then, because of the shift position, where the second or shortstop or whatever, where he was, he could not get to a ground ball in the infield because it wasn't hit to where the shift told him.
Right.
So then we got 2 runners on. And then there was another back-to-back situations where the shift actually kind of brought the fielder out of position. So and then like the wheels came off, his confidence is shot. The Phillies lose a game. After that, he threw his team under the bus. He said, "You know what? Everyone else can do this better than us. Why do our shifts suck so bad?" Because I think he's found the numbers. Apparently, there's numbers that say shift runs saved or something silly like that, like sabermetric style. But they're saying that the Phillies are basically the worst, that their shifts aren't benefiting them. And he was fucking frustrated because he felt like he had a great game and he would have got out of the inning.
Right. Here's the problem.
That's the story of the Phillies.
Gabe Kapler is playing MLB The Show.
I think that's
2018.
I think that's the story of the Philly season.
The
they're
Phillies,
gonna waste the rest of their season. They're no good.
The Phillies, he's been thrown under the bus by everybody. He pulled his pitcher after he had 4 good innings because statistically he doesn't do good against the third time through the order. Let him get a couple of runners on. You got 161 fucking games to fix this problem.
Yeah.
Don't start doing it. Then you call for a pitcher in the bullpen who isn't even up. And now you've got Jake Arrieta, who's probably older than Dave Kapler, over here being like, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Stop being a fucking idiot. I'm not asking much of you.
I don't think it comes straight from the manager. I think it comes from your analytics guys over in the office.
He's too analytical.
Yeah.
His whole past is front office.
Right.
And it's showing, hey, you have to have some type of inkling and something that says, hey, this is what needs to happen. Yeah.
You need some Ron Washington baseball sense.
Right, that's how baseball go. Guess where Ron Washington is right now? Fucking coaching in Atlanta.
Right.
Where's Atlanta?
Ahead
of their time. Tied for first.
Second, tied for first, second place in the NL East.
And I hate to preach this anymore.
This is not analytics. Ozuna was injured. Whatever, we're gonna get to that.
Ozuna's 2 weeks out. Looks like June 14th and 17th. But I hate to say it once again. If you want to watch some good baseball, if you want to watch a good race for October, check out the NL West. We've only got 4.5 games that separates the whole
entire division.
San Diego's popped up.
San Diego.
4.5.
4.5.
It's German for Whale's vagina,
Good
and
Lord.
also for 4.5 games back from the NL West. But San Francisco hanging out there. San Francisco called up Pudge Rodriguez's son. Actually looking halfway decent as a relief pitcher.
Did you see that stuff?
He looks like fucking
Hold
Mexican
on.
Hansen.
Hold on. I thought that was Colorado. I thought he was pitching for Colorado.
No, he
okay,
plays
never
for
mind. Either ESPN or MLB.com or somebody used Pudge's picture for his son's profile.
Oh, nice.
Like, you look at it, what's his name? I don't remember the name. Whatever.
That's
Blank. Pudge's son's first name is Bobby Rodriguez or whatever. It said had his picture, Pudge's picture, and it had it said his age was proper, but then it said years in the MLB, 15 or 20 or whatever.
Right, yeah.
It was a real fuck up.
No, that's almost kind of like on Borat when,
Right.
Borat had the Kazakhstan national anthem that they did. There was some type of Olympic sport that a winner from Kazakhstan won. It wasn't in the Olympics, but it was one of those stupid ones.
Yeah.
But Kazakhstan won, and they used the Borat Kazakhstan national anthem instead of the real one.
Right. So what's the rest of the NL West situation?
So NL West, Arizona right now is up over Colorado with half game. The LA Dodgers have been struggling.
Just like last year,
right.
we've got Arizona, Colorado, LA, cream of the crop.
Right. LA been struggling. Not the LA that we remember.
Well, right.
But they've been able,
is it injuries or is it World Series hangover?
It's
a little of both.
Yeah. And they've been able to capitalize on Arizona, Colorado not doing as hot as they were last year, able to capitalize on that pull within a game and a half.
Right.
But you've got the Giants who went off and made
Kershaw,
big trades.
Hold on for 1 second.
Kershaw
comes up, goes back to the DL.
Looks like it's going to be a month.
And you know who else is going to who's the best pitcher in the NL who doesn't spend time on the DL? Max Scherzer.
Right.
Dude, he doesn't. Kershaw has injury problems.
He does now.
Has the ship sailed? Kershaw's not the best pitcher in the NL anymore.
I'm going to say he's not. No.
Right? The first half of 2018, Max Scherzer is fucking God over in Washington, and Kershaw can't even stay on the Major League roster because he's injured. It's stupid to blame him for that, but he's not leading his team right now.
No, and I think a lot of it may have to do with the mechanics and the way that he pitches and he throws.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to make some adjustments. He's going to have to get that body back in shape. But you've got San Francisco that's out there making moves. You know, they brought Evan Longoria. They got Andrew McCutchen. They're bringing up some young guns. They've still got Buster Posey and Pagan. They've got a lot of good stuff. They've resurrected Kung Fu Panda, trimmed off 45 fucking pounds. And they're hanging out up there at the top, keeping it interesting. Tied for third in the NL West with a game and a half back with the Dodgers. And then you've got 4.5 back with San Diego, which is basically Eric Hosmer and 8 other guys.
Right.
So, and Eric Hosmer not looking like the Eric Hosmer of old, but, you know, he's still holding his own.
That's going to look like a terrible contract.
Yeah. It'll definitely be a Chew-esque.
I mean, everybody could. Dude, you want to shit on Chew again. He is the Rangers' second best hitter.
Right now. But his contract with how long he's been injured and everything else like that, it's not ever going to weigh out right.
He's perfectly fine. I know it will never. Yes, it's an overpayment. No, he will never live up to the contract. But no, he has not been god-awful. He has been perfectly fine when he's been healthy.
Well,
Whatever.
right.
Anyway.
And with the NL Central, you've got the Cubs at a half game back. Under Milwaukee. St. Louis is at 3. Pittsburgh, who was firing on all 5 cylinders, they are now down to 500 baseball. All five. They were a 6-cylinder car.
All cylinders.
No, they were a V6 and they were firing on 5 and we didn't know it.
I've had a Ford Mustang that did that one time.
And then Cincinnati's 15 and a half
all right,
back.
Let's wrap this up with the NL Central.
All right.
Anthony Rizzo is a dirty player.
Oh, is that really what it is? Because on the show notes it says cocksucker.
Anthony Rizzo is a dirty cocksucker.
And why is Rizzo a dirty cocksucker?
Because just like last year, when you wanted to defend his ass, and he slides, as in like, oh wait, the base is over there, and I'm going to pretend I'm just going to slide 1 foot over, and it's going to kind of be gray area looking, and I'm going to take out the catcher. And there was a big fight about it, and we can talk about it. I don't know, it was episode 17 or something like that. And there he goes again, the very next year, taking out the Pittsburgh Pirates catcher, cleats to the shin, not even going at the base.
His hand was in reach of the base.
Yeah.
Slapping it by.
When you're over 6 feet tall, that's like 3.5 feet away.
He was
You
inside the
could stretch.
baseline. He was inside the baseline. I know
The baseline is a big dirt path that's about 10 feet wide. That is not the standard that we're holding people to. When the base is right there and you are inside the baseline, but actually you're way the fuck over there taking out the catcher.
MLB said that it was a bad call.
Plunked. You deserve to get plunked, but the problem is, what do? We end up throwing at the other team's catcher. Like, they hit the Cubs catcher instead of hitting Rizzo. And then then the next game we come out again. I'm so sick and tired of this whole baseball policing bullcrap hitting players. No, Rizzo deserves to get his clock bell rung. Like, we need to find, you have another game. You are Pittsburgh. You have another game against the Cubs. Find your Rougned Odor and go punch him in the mouth, or find whoever's on the mound and go, like, throw at his knees. You know, I don't want anybody throwing at heads, right? That's what I'm talking about. Is like, let's stop throwing at heads.
Just throw him at the hip. You throw it at the lower
Throw it at the thigh. Throw it at the knee, and then you walk off the mound right at him, and you say, you know what, you deserve that, and you make it very clear why you just got thrown at.
Give him a little Joe Kelly. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You just say, hey, like if you deserved every bit of that.
Good God, Corey, you wasted a minute and a half.
If you want to come over here and fight me, you deserved every bit of that. Rizzo, I hope he gets ejected. Well, the next time he does this, I hope he gets suspended for 10 games.
The thing is it's such a gray area.
It keeps going. It is not.
He was. The MLB says
we need to turn the gray into black and white.
MLB says they missed the call. MLB says that the umpires missed the call.
The problem is that a missed call turns into throwing at players for 2 games after the fact and more benches clearing and bullshit.
Yeah, God forbid we have ratings, Corey.
Let's get it right the first time.
Well, you can't do that until we have robots from China running this shit. And fucking Donald Trump raised the steel prices so we can't have the robots.
Anthony Rizzo, you're dead to me.
Anthony Rizzo took advantage of a situation that he knew he was going to win. There's several teams that are doing that. Arizona's doing that. Arizona had a coach that just sat around and studied the rule books and taught. No, he did in base running and all types. Gave out different situations, and it came up against Houston where there is a rule that basically says as soon as the ball is past you, you have to disappear. That doesn't fucking happen.
I remember that play you're talking
right.
about. Yeah.
And they went on about it. They were able to manipulate the rule.
Yeah.
Rizzo has found that. Everybody else has found that. You have Joe Madden as your manager. Joe Madden is the most analytical but still realistic baseball coach. He's if you're not a Cubs fan, he's sleazy. He knows itty little things and little tendencies to do. 2 years ago he had Rizzo when the pitcher would come up was standing dead even with the pitcher's mound with a second baseman's glove on. I mean, he knows how to nitpick. He knows things like that.
Yep.
So that's going to be it for episode 41 today, guys.
Oh, you wrapped it up too soon.
Oh,
you know what we didn't talk about?
What did we not talk about? Big Sexy ties for the career
wins.
wins.
No, he was already tied. Whatever.
He tied yesterday.
He will pass for the most wins from any Dominican pitcher.
Yes.
You have to mention Big Sexy's career accomplishments.
Big Sexy is a great man.
We essentially devote the show to Big Sexy every single time.
Right? He's our new Tim Tebow. We need to have a new song for him.
You need some Tim Tebow time.
Tim Tebow just ain't doing nothing.
Sorry, guys. No Tim Tebow time.
But check us out on CB and CB Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is Cold Beers and Curveballs. You can check us out on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Overcast now,
Yes.
Spreaker, iTunes, Google Play.
On any of those wonderful places that you can find podcasts, just click subscribe, and that way you'll get an alert for every single time.
Right? Subscribe, talk to us about it, engage with us, tell your friends about it, and let's keep growing the show. And until next time, keep watching that baseball, keep drinking that beer, and you know what? Check out the College World Series sometimes. There's some kind of hot pitchers. But until next time, we'll see you guys later. And to correction, the College World Series for softball.